What's up, family? Gerald the Bossman here. You're tuned into the Bossman Show on AM 1010, AM 1430, 1055 The King. Let the King out at 105theking.com and the Bossman Show at bossmanshow.com. Hit me up on Instagram, The Bossman Show, Twitter at Bossman Show, and Facebook, Bossman Show. It's the Bossman on your radio.
Listen to the Bossman Show with your host, JR, Saturdays at 9 a.m. right here on AM 1010, The King.
What's up, good people? Bet Online is your number one source for all your betting needs. The latest odds, lines, and matchup reports for baseball, boxing, golf, and more. Bet Online continues to be the fastest and easiest way to place your wagers, including live betting and your favorite casino and card games available to play right from your phone. Head to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today and get in on the action. Remember to use your promo code BELIEVE, BLEAV, for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Bet Online, where the game starts.
BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV.
Yes, BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV, covering content and hot topics from A to Z, sports, music, society and culture, movie reviews, you name it, we have it. Check it out on bs3network.com or check us out on Roku, BS3 TV on Roku, as well as check out your favorite podcast on all podcast platforms or Spreaker.com/BS3 Network.
You are now tuned to BS3 Network.
Folks, back on the Bossman Show with a special guest. I've been a fan of this coach for years. He was at Navy and at San Jose State. Coach Niumatalolo with me on the Bossman Show from Hawaii. Coach, good to see you, man. I've been a fan of yours for years, man. It's an honor to have you on the show finally, man.
Thank you, Bossman. Thanks for having me, brother. Aloha from the islands. Great to be here.
Yes, sir. Coach, let me ask you about this job at San Jose State, man. What about the opportunity really stood out to you about this university? San Jose State is a great school, great education, great area, blooming with tech out there, man. So what about this opportunity really just struck you and you and your family want to go out there and make the move now?
Well, I was at the Naval Academy for 25 years. Loved my time there. I'm originally, like you said, from Hawaii, so I had family back here. My daughter and her family was here. My dad and I have some siblings. I was with my other son and his family. He was coaching with me at Navy, so I loved being with his family. But after I got let go, I knew we wanted to get closer to the islands. My wife's family is from Guam, so that's another side of the world. You know what I mean? And so if there was any opportunities that opened up west, we knew we were going to try to pursue it. And so when this opened up, we thought it was a perfect spot. Didn't know much about it, Bossman, but we love it here. We love living in San Jose. They've built great facilities. They're wonderful people here. And like you said, just seeing the career opportunities after for your players, using that as a recruiting tool. I mean, it's been awesome.
And Coach, and also for you, man, how cool has it been to meeting these guys who may have seen you have success all these years, and now you're their head coach. They can learn from you. You're a very principled man. Talking to you offline, I feel the spirit in you as well. So talk about meeting these young men and getting them to buy into your culture and learning them, and helping them become better men in your program.
Well, I always thought my best friend, his name is Brian Norwood. He and I met in Hawaii back in the 80s. He's originally from Glenarden, Maryland, and he's actually coaching at UCLA right now. He's associate head coach, works with the safeties, one of the best safeties, DB coaches in the country. But he and I used to always talk about he told me this a long time ago, and I've adopted it, but just, there's wins on the field, but there's victories in life. And he had been at a ton of places, Penn State, Baylor, and all these big-time programs, Kansas State. But, for guys like us that have been coaching a long time, we come to realize that it's more than just wins and losses on the field. It's victories in life and helping you guys become better citizens, become better fathers, better husbands, just better people. It's one thing to teach a guy how to backpedal or how to tackle or how to run a route, and that's our job. But we've always both felt that in this game, especially football, because football is a unique game. There's a lot of life lessons that you learn in it. That, camaraderie, teamwork, the doing your job. Sometimes it's not just about you just sacrificing for others, the hard work, and you can learn it in a laboratory that maybe is not as punitive. And I say this because sometimes if a guy's late for a meeting, you make him run. And then we're like, dang, coach, why are we doing this? Why I have to go do up downs or, because I didn't go to class, I got this punishment or, this happened and these were the consequences. I've always told guys, I'm trying to help you in life because in the real world, if you don't pay your power bill, they're going to turn off your power man.
No doubt.
Just so if this happens in the real world, there are real life consequences. We're just teaching you in a laboratory of football. Running or having to do a couple extra push-ups, that's nothing. And so that's the route that I've always taken, trying to win games. But there's, to me, a great carryover in discipline and accountability and just helping our players. And, I don't know if it's the right thing, for everybody or, if everybody wants to do it. But I know Coach Norwood and I, we both, knew that was the route and the platform that we were going to coach on.
And, Coach, man, I'm going to tell you, for me, one thing that football taught me has been early because our coach had a rule. If a meeting was at 9 o'clock, it really means 8:45. And if you come at 9 o'clock, you're late. So I've always been early for things because it's been drilled in my head, hey, 9 o'clock means 8:45. So when I go to a meeting or meet with a sponsor or meet with anybody, I'm typically there 15 minutes to a half hour early because of what football taught me and what coach put in my head about being early to things and not being late.
No doubt. That's a lesson I learned, and it helps you in life, just with job interviews or going to your work, and I always tell guys, you'd be surprised, get out in the workforce, how many people don't know how to work? You're in football, like you're up early at 7 o'clock running and lifting. The majority of people are sleeping, but don't feel sorry for yourself. You're getting to go to school, you're getting to play Division I football, but these life skills of work ethic, being on time, doing what you're supposed to, being where you're supposed to be, these are things that are going to help you and your future family to have a better life.
And Coach, for you, how is this world of football changed, Coach, with the transfer portal and the NIL now? I call it speed dating, Coach. Like, you have to vet these guys in a couple of weeks and redo your homework fast and decide whether they are fit for your program or not. So how would that affect you and your staff trying to build this team this year, trying to find the right young men out of the portal and building with high school guys as well?
Bossman, that's a great question. I think everybody's still trying to figure it out. To be honest, when I play it, I wish I had some ideas. I don't have anything against the players. Like, man, I wish I had some of that. And so, but the portal is different. But you just try to do the best you can. Okay, these are the rules. How do we figure it out? I've gone under the premise, don't complain about it because they're here. So how can we deal with it? Like Bossman, our player personnel director, her name is Becca Paris, told me that we have over 50 new guys on our roster since San Jose State played in their bowl game. That's how much the roster's turned over. And so it's different. The years, I think, of developing a team, like guys with redshirt people and try to build them up, I don't think that's the case anymore. I think it's a year-to-year deal, kind of like it is in the NFL. I think the teams and the coaches and the staffs that are able to bring their teams together as quickly as possible, because that's hard. You got guys coming from other schools that did it a different way, they're probably there for a reason. They're probably maybe disenchanted at the other school and want the ball more, whatever the case may be. And you got guys in the locker room already, and Bossman playing football. If your locker room's not like this, you have no chance.
No shot.
None. I don't care how talented you are, but if you're not like this, you got none. And so trying to bring our team together, trying to get guys to know each other is a big part of it. We're still trying to figure it out, but I think the teams that are better at doing that and able to adapt to that, Bossman, are the teams that are going to succeed.
And Coach, what my concern is, Coach, is like a young man might not be in it for the right reason. We ain't trying to have to do it the way you do it now, because you used to recruit guys for a year and get to build that relationship with, and you was certain they was in it for the right reason. Now you really don't know. It could just be because you're an Under Armour school or a Nike school, or the uniform, the logo. You never know what a guy's motive is now. I feel like a little harder now to figure out a guy's motive in this kind of new world that we're in. We have to accept it, but I feel like it's kind of hard. This guy, he really love football for football. He love it for other reasons outside of the field.
Yeah, boss. And for us, our NIL is not, like other Power Four, schools. And so when guys ask us, when some of their first questions, like, what are you guys paying, or how much can you guys offer? We tell them we don't have much. You got a chance to come here to play Division I football, get a great education, live in Silicon Valley, the tech capital of the world, set yourself up for some opportunities after. But that's our offer. And so we can kind of see, like, hey, if it's, there's some other things involved. And to be honest with you, I don't know who to guess. Hey, say, if they tell me, hey, Coach, sorry, so-and-so has offered me this, I say, all the best to you, brother. You know what I mean? Just this is who we are. This is what we have. If it's good enough for you, come on. We're going to try to help you the best you can to be the best player, help you go to the league, help you get a degree, help set you up for life, just all those things to try to develop a person. But if it's not enough for you, then, what else can we do?
100%, Coach. And, Coach, like you said, man, you've done that over years, developing young men to get to the NFL and play on Sundays, man, and getting to that point. And, Coach, for you now, how from your time as a quarterback at Hawaii to now, in your mind, how has the game changed in your mind forward over the years? I know for me, since I got out through playing from 2008 to now, I've seen it change. But for you, how has it changed for you to be in the business pretty much the whole time I've been involved in the game? So how's it changed for you, Coach?
I think you still got to be able to run the football, Bossman. You know what I mean? But the days of lining up in the eye, 70 snaps and running ISO, and a fullback or, power is not going to happen. Guys still run the ball, and you have to. You see teams like San Francisco that, do a great job with their zone game and things like that. But the game has changed from the standpoint of, people are spreading you sideline to sideline, working you horizontally and vertically. The linemen are still big, the D linemen, but the days of the 350-pound linemen aren't as much. They're 310. And these guys are lean and fast and can run, because you got to be able to rush the passer and you got to be able to run sideline to sideline. There's a lot of tempo teams in college running up tempo stuff, trying to go fast, trying to get offenses are a lot more wide open that way. People don't do that obviously as much in the league because there's a 53-man roster, so you don't have the depth of the roster. But I think the game has changed from the standpoint of how it's played, fast, wide open, up tempo, a lot of RPO stuff. PRO stuff, screen or so, whether it's run to pass to run, screen to run, everybody's got tags on what you do offensively from the standpoint of, they're not just going to run this one play. If you line up a certain way, they're going to do this. You know what I mean? So you got a lot of that going on. But it's a fast-paced game that's wide open. The guys are bigger and stronger and faster, but probably leaner. The old linemen are still probably big dudes, but even them, they're leaner dudes. You look at guys now. I mean, they're 320, Bossman, and they got flat stomachs. You're like, whoa.
Yes.
I mean, the guys. It's amazing how guys look nowadays. People know how to eat. When I played and back in you lift the weights, stuff like that, but you didn't know nutrition. I mean, you go to McDonald's and stuff. You didn't know any of that stuff. You know what I mean? You didn't know how to eat chicken breast and, vegetables. You know what I mean? Nobody knew that stuff. You drank soda. Where now, guys are drinking water and have protein shakes. I mean, most schools have designed protein shakes as you come off the workout. Bossman, here's yours. Ken, here's yours.
Mm-hmm.
You got to gain weight. You got to lose weight or whatever. So it's the science of it is changed dramatically.
No doubt, Coach. And you know what, Coach? Like, I know for me, I feel like you have to really, really watch film more now than ever because people can disguise stuff so well. It could be the same, personnel group, same look, but a different play off or even different plays off of it. So I feel like now more than ever, film study is way more important. Attention and details way more important. Having game plan discipline and scout discipline now is way more important than it used to be because you look the same, might look the same, but it's some wrinkles off that thing. That can screw you over.
Bossman, it's you're exactly right, and it's a really simple game from the standpoint of there's a reason that the quarterbacks, Mahomes, and these guys make all this money. It's all about the dude at the ball, and so they're so smart now. I mean, those quarterbacks are so smart. They got all these Elite 11 stuff, and they start at a young age throwing the ball. And by the time they get to college, they're so skilled at throwing the football. And so being able to trick those guys, being able to trick offensive linemen as a defensive side is monumental. It's pivotal in not giving guys the same looks. It's the same thing on offense. You're trying to see what the defense is doing, not giving, trying to get any tendency on blitzes and which way the safeties are rotating, which way the linebackers are going to blitz from. There's so much film study. There's so much analytics. College this year is going to the headsets, and we'll have the tablets on the sidelines, the iPads on the sidelines. Years past, you're trying to talk on the sideline. You're trying to guess, okay, where was that guy in the A gap, B gap, or where'd he come from? You're trying to recall off memory or what the guys in the box or the players. Now there's no guessing. It's right here. Mm-hmm. Sometimes the player like, where did he come from? Coach, I had a guy here. I mean, he had like 4 guys on. I'm like, what? How do you have 4 guys around you? And so now you can like, oh, no. There was one guy and he came through this gap. And so the science of that, the GPS, the catapult stuff that everybody uses to see, your exertion during the week or during games to try to see to help you be at your optimal when you train. There's so many things now, Bossman, that have changed to help make the game more scientific. But like you said, the part of disguising homework, doing your homework. If you don't do your film work and stuff like that, you got no chance. I don't know if you saw that deal with the quarterbacks that they had on, I'm not even sure what it was on Netflix or whatever, but they showed guys, and it was interesting watching, Mahomes, like everybody sees him on game day, but he's got this tablet that he's got all of his notes down. I mean,
mm-hmm.
These guys are like offensive coordinators. They just got the skill to do what, they actually can run and can throw the ball, but they're just as smart as offensive coordinators. They can just run plays, So it's amazing.
100%, Coach. Very amazing, Coach. Talk about the Mountain West, Coach. A conference with a lot of tough teams out there, man. You're going to be playing in Washington State and Oregon State this year as well. As with the partnerships, talking about the toughness of the Mountain West and how folks should really pay attention to the Mountain West about how high quality football is out there and really to tune in this season.
Well, for many years, I was at an American conference, and we thought we were always battling the Mountain West as the top Group of 5 conference. We thought, that's part of recruiting. Hey, we're better than them. They're better than us. Being out in the league, this is a really good football league with a lot of good coaches, a lot of good programs. Like you said, playing Washington State and Oregon State makes it even tougher. But there have been a lot of teams that have been good for a long time in this conference. And so it's a tough league. We're excited to be in it. We feel like our league is, the top Group of 5 league. But like everybody, in the offseason, we talk how tough things are, but everybody has to prove it once the season starts. And I know every team in our conference is looking forward to having a great season.
And Coach, I saw you got a cool game. You playing Kennesaw State. Brian Bohannon, a guy I know very well, come out to visit you guys, and they're going to Conference USA now. So about having the hometown team up the road here come out there and play you guys in the non-con this year, Coach.
Yeah, Coach Bohan is one of my dear friends. When he was there at Navy for 6 years, we were neighbors. You know what I mean? And so I was happy for him when he got the Kennesaw State job from Georgia Southern. But phenomenal football coach. He's had a ton of success there at Kennesaw State. It's going to be a tough game for us. You know, the people in San Jose won't probably know who Kennesaw State is, but I definitely know who they are. I definitely know the kind of football they play, the type of coaches they have, the head coach they have, the type of players. It's going to be a tough ball game. I'm just hoping it's a long ride from them from the East Coast coming to the West Coast because we're going to need as much help as we can get.
You got that right, Coach. Hey, that time difference ain't no joke, Coach. It's no joke.
We hope there's some jet lag.
Yes, yeah. And Coach, you know, I'm old enough to remember when Kennesaw State and Georgia State were just commuter schools here in Atlanta. I always remember that when that was D2. So to see them both grow to D1 now, FBS football, man, it's amazing. The growth around Atlanta with these two universities. That's what kids went there, go to school and go home. Now they're powerhouses now in sports now. It's amazing to see the growth around here with these two schools.
It's a credit to all of those programs and schools. And it's amazing, like you said, it's just, I mean, they're all there in ATL. You know, just in that area, just in suburbs, but we've always known that, you know, the talent level in Atlanta, just in that area, is just amazing. That's why everybody's in there recruiting. You know, every school goes there, just with all the talent level. Being at the Naval Academy, you know, one of my things as the head coach, we knew that, you know, the SEC was the best conference and the best football was down there in the South. And so we felt like it was an advantage for us at the Naval Academy because we were closer than the other two service academies to the South. So we, you know, focused heavily there in that area, you know, Atlanta, Nashville, Tennessee, you know, North Carolina, Alabama, Florida, just, you know, all of those areas, most of the Carolinas. And it was good for us. You know, it was really good for us. Got a lot of good players out of Kentucky and just in that area. But you're right, to see what Kennesaw State's done, Georgia State's done in that short time, see how well they've done. I mean, it's a testament to them. And it's kind of crazy because then you got, like you said, the Georgia Tech's in that area. And obviously you got, you know, the Dogs in that area. I mean, there's some really good teams. Georgia Southern. I mean, I'm just off the top of my head, you mentioned them, but it's amazing how many good football programs there are just right in, you know, in that state.
And Coach, I grew up 5 minutes from Clark and Morehouse. So there would be days I would go down to Clark and Morehouse and play basketball. And also, Coach, this is another fun fact. The Atlanta Hawks used to practice at Morehouse. So I would go down there for practice and help and be a ball boy for the Atlanta Hawks as a kid. So it's 5 minutes from my house to walk from Morehouse to my dad's house is 5 minutes away if I walked.
It's amazing, like you said, Morehouse, and just all the talent in that area is just, when you're just looking at, and I think the latest one that came out, I can't remember when it came out a couple of years ago or recently, but, you know, a long time, I think it was Florida, but I believe that, you know, the ATL in Atlanta had bypassed as far as the number of, a city with the number of guys in the league.
Yes.
You know what I mean? That have come from that area. It's just like, so like, whoa. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, it's not a coincidence, just all the talent in that area.
And former Atlanta Falcons, the head coach of Morehouse now, Terrence Mathis. He's coach of Morehouse now. So it's like it's all full circle, Coach. But I'll tell you what, man. Is that
the Terrence Mathis that went and played at New Mexico?
Yes.
No. Yeah, I was at Hawaii when he used to tear the league up.
Yes, yeah, he's the coach of Morehouse, man, and so he's building that thing up over there, man. So I tell you what, and Dale McGee, somebody who I've known for years, is now Georgia State. So it's like it's amazing the level of guys here. I've known the Hiltons for years. I know Tyson in Western Kentucky and Coach Clay down at Georgia Southern. So it's like it's funny when you look at the state, man, all these guys who I've known for years are now back here coaching now.
Yeah, and it's kind of cool too because you've taken a different route, with your success in your business, being on the radio, which there's a lot of people that would like to do what you're doing, brother, but not everybody can. And so that's kudos to you and, your longevity and what you've done. But like I said, you're in a hard profession and staying is hard to do. And for you to stay in it that long is a testament to how good you are. So all the best to you, brother.
Thanks so much, Coach. And I'll tell you what, Coach, the first time I ever heard you on the radio was on Jim Rome's show, Coach. That's the first time I ever heard you on Jim Rome's show. It's so good.
Yeah, I think I was eating an In-N-Out burger driving in LA recruiting somewhere too.
So I was a clone, Coach. So it was so cool to meet Jim Rome at Super Bowl. I said, Mr. Rome, I know you probably don't like to call Mr., but Mr. Rome, you inspired me as a kid, and as a college kid. Now I'm doing radio there. So he loved it, Coach. He loved it. He thought it was funny. But I said, man, you every day from 12 to 3, I got the jungle on. So I learned from the best.
And you're doing it your way on the East Coast, brother. So happy for you, man. So keep up the great work, my brother.
And, Coach, I love to help you out. If there's any guys from Atlanta, I love to send them your way because I know what you're about. I've been financial for you, like I told you, man. So I'm in your corner, Coach. I'm a Spartan, Coach. I'm in your corner, buddy.
Thank you, brother. Thanks for having me, man. It's been awesome talking to you.
It was fun, Coach. The same here, buddy.
BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV.
Yes, BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV, covering content and hot topics from A to Z, sports, music, society and culture, movie reviews, you name it, we have it. Check it out on bs3network.com or check us out on Roku, BS3 TV on Roku, as well as check out your favorite podcasts on all podcast platforms or Spreaker.com/BS3 Network.
You are now tuned to BS3 Network.
What's up, good people? Bet Online is your number one source for all your betting needs. The latest odds, lines, and matchup reports for baseball, boxing, golf, and more. Bet Online continues to be the fastest and easiest way to place your wagers, including live betting and your favorite casino and card games available to play right from your phone. Head to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today and get in on the action. Remember to use your promo code BELIEVE, BLEAV, for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Bet Online, where the game starts. What's up, family? Gerald the Bossman here. You're tuned into the Bossman Show on AM 1010, AM 1430, 1055 The King. Check The King out at 105theking.com and the Bossman Show at bossmanshow.com. Hit me up on Instagram, The Bossman Show, Twitter at Bossman Show, and Facebook, Bossman Show. It's the Bossman on your radio.
Listen to The Bossman Show with your host, JR, Saturdays at 9 a.m. right here on AM 1010, The King.